So let's revise the topics we did in the last class. So, so class is basically a template. Okay, so we can provide the details of properties as well as the methods in the class. So we can create an instance of that class with any n number of instances of that class. So that instance is called as object. So here uh, we have here person is a class, right? And we have properties like name and age. And there is an instance method which is called greet, right? So we can access these properties and methods only by by creating an object. So we have to create an object for this class. So in order to create an object, we use this new keyword. So new class name, and if we have to pass any parameters, we will pass the parameters. So in order to pass the parameters during the initialization, during creating the instance itself, we use the method called constructor. So as soon as you create an object, you want to initialize the values of that properties, then you use constructor method. Okay. So constructor is a special method which can be created only once. Okay, so that method is used to initialize the values of the parameters during the creation of the object itself. So if we see this example, we are creating an object person, and we are initializing the values of person name and person age by this John and 30, right? So and inside that we are trying to initialize the parameters uh, with the arguments that we pass here, John and 30. Okay, so this constructor method is useful to initialize the values of that properties during the creation of the object itself. Okay, so that is about the constructor method. It's a special method which will be invoked during when we create an object. Okay, and basically the use of constructor method is to initialize the values while creating an object itself. Okay, so yeah, so this is about the class properties, instance methods, creating an object, and a special method called constructor. Okay, yeah. So the difference between constructor and greet: constructor is also a method, but it's a special method which is executed during the creation of the object. But greet is not like that. Greet is an instance method where we can call that instance. In order to execute the code inside that greet, we need to call that method using the object.greet. Okay, so but we didn't say person1 dot constructor, right? So there is no need to say person1 dot constructor, because constructor is a special method. It will be invoked directly without while creating an object itself. But in order to invoke the other method, other instance methods, we need to use the object. So only after creating object we can call those methods, right? So person1 dot greet. So greet is an instance method, so that's why we need to invoke. We can only invoke that method by using the object dot method name. Any doubt? Yeah. So till here, I think we saw in the last class. Now let's create there is another method called static methods generally. Okay, so let's discuss about them. I'll create a static methods.js. Okay, basically static methods are also defined in a class. Okay, and they in order to call the static methods, we don't need to create any instance. Okay, so for example, if there is a class and if we define some method as static, okay, then that method, in order to call that method or invoke that method, we don't need to create an instance. Okay, so I'll give an example. So here it's a static method, method defined in a class and cannot be called on instance. It cannot be called on instance. On instances of the class. So that means we cannot use the object.method name like we used for person.greet. Greet is a method. So like that, if the method is static, we cannot use the instances of the class. Okay, that means we cannot use the object name dot method name. Okay, so we can directly call we can directly call a class name dot method name. Okay, we'll see that in an example here. Let's say class. You can take any method. Let's say some math. Okay, of class. Okay, so math is a class. So in that math, let's say we want an add method. Okay, so in that add method, let's say that add method is a static method. Okay, so we can use static. Okay, static add. Okay, so we are adding two numbers, let's say. So a comma b are the parameters that we want to pass to that method, and we are returning a plus b. Okay, so whenever an add method is called, it will using if and passing two numbers, and if we pass two numbers, then it will return addition of those two numbers. Okay, that's the functionality of this method. Yeah, so but this method is declared as static. Okay, so in previous cases we haven't declared this greet method as static. Okay, so that means this greet method is an instance method. That means we can only call that method by creating an instance. That means only by creating an object of that person class. Okay, so using object name dot that method name. But here, since it's a static method, there is no need, or we cannot use instances of that class. Okay, we can directly call that method using class name. Okay, so console.log. So we can use class name. So here class name is math dot add. Okay, instead of creating an object and all, we can directly use class name dot method name. Okay, so here since it is static method, we are using directly class name dot method name. Okay, and we are passing these values 5, 3 as the arguments, and it should return 5 plus 3, 8, right? Let's see. Node this static methods.js. You see, you got 8, right? So that's the specialty of this static methods. Okay, so generally they are used when you don't want to create any objects, and it should be global to all. It should be accessible. That method should be accessible to the whole class or whole or other objects without creating an instance, basically. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that is about static methods. Now let's see inheritance. Inheritance.js. So inheritance is nothing but basically it's an object-oriented programming concepts. There are concepts like polymorphism, inheritance, so abstraction. All these things are there, but inheritance is the major one. So let's discuss inheritance. So inheritance is nothing but we can inherit the one class can inherit the properties and methods of the other class. Okay, by using by extending the other classes. Okay, so in order to inherit the methods and properties of other class, we will use a keyword called extends. Okay, so so here classes can extend other classes. Okay, classes can inherit can inherit properties and methods of other classes, and uh, by using by extending by using the keyword extends. Okay, so here let's say we have a class called animal. Yeah, so um, so generally we have different properties and methods, right? Let's take some properties and methods. So properties, I'm using the constructor of the properties. So constructor, let's say it takes the name of the animal. Okay, and this dot name, right? This dot name equal to name. Okay, you know what's the difference, right? I can, if it is confusing, I can give here different name like animal name. Okay, and I can use the same here, animal name. Okay, so this is a property, name is a property, animal name is a property, and let's say it can make some sound, or it can speak. Okay, or sound, let's say sound, it's a some sound it makes, right? So okay, I can say this method console.log, it can yeah, I can use the name of the animal, and say it can make sound. Okay, uh, this this dot name, so I'm using backticks here, and dollar, this one, this dot name. Okay, this dot name makes sound, okay, this animal makes a sound. Okay, animal makes a sound. So that's the method. It can be anything, the code can be, right? So I'm just giving an example. So here that's a method sound, and so if that's an animal, right? Now I can create another class. Okay, because I want to extend the properties of animal. If I create a dog, dog is a type of animal, right? So in order to say it's a type of animal, we need to extend the properties of animal, properties and methods of animal. Okay, of class animal. So here dog extends animal. Okay, so class dog extends animal. Yeah, so I can say here I can say speak. Okay, let's say this is another method, or walk, whatever it is. So let's say uh, yeah, so I can say this is another method, right? So I'm saying again here console.log uh, this dot and this dot name. So I don't have this dot name in the class called dog, right? Is there any property called name here? No. But I can still, I'm still declaring here, I mean using the name property. So why is that the case? uh, because this dot name, because we are extending the name animal, sorry, extending the class animal, that means all the properties are accessible by dog as well. All the properties and methods are accessible by dog as well. That's why I can use this dot name here. Okay, not only in the sound method, I can also use that in the walk method. Okay, this dot name uh, can walk on four legs, let's say, right? So I'm able to access the name property in the dog class because I'm extending the animal class. That's why I'm having the access of this property here as well, property name here as well. Okay. So now let's say, okay, now these are the classes, right? Now I want to access the methods, instance methods like sound and walk. I want to access them. Okay. So for that I need, because they are instance methods, I can't directly say walk. Okay, I can't directly invoke the method walk method directly, right? In order to invoke the walk method or sound method, I need to create an object of that class, right? So how to create const, right? Let's say I'm creating a dog. Okay, I'm creating a, let's say, dog one. Okay, uh, new. I'm creating an object of type dog, right? And I'm assigning it to the variable dog one. Okay, so new dog. I'm creating a new dog. Okay, new object of type dog. Okay, so in this I need to I need to provide, since here if you observe, this doesn't have any constructor, right? but but still I need to provide, because it's of type animal, I can access the constructor of the animal. Okay, so that means if I need to provide dog here some name, let's say Bingo is the dog. Okay, Bingo is the dog name, right? I'm providing the name of the dog, but since the constructor is not available here, it goes and looks in the animal class and see if there is any constructor. Okay, because the animal class, okay, the parent class, you call this as a parent because it is extending animal. So animal is a parent class. In the parent class you have the constructor and it is taking an argument. Okay, so animal name it is taking, so this will go here and it will assign this dot name to Bingo. Okay, so here const dog1 equal to new dog Bingo, it will create an object of type dog. Okay, since but while creating, it checks for the constructor method in the dog. Since it's not present, it goes and checks in the parent class, and since the parent class has the constructor method, and it will assign this Bingo to the property name. Okay, while creating the object of dog type. Okay, now using this object dog1, now dog1 is assigned to this object, right? So this dog1, we can access the properties and methods of this dog1, of this classes using the object dog1. Okay, let's say I want dog1 dot, so I want to check whether it makes sound or not. Okay, let's say dog1 dot sound, but sound is not in the dog class, but still I'm able to access this sound method because it is extending animal, because that's why sound method is also accessible to this dog1. Okay, yeah, so if I say sound, it should uh, print out this statement, right? Yeah, let's see. So here it is node inheritance dot js. So Bingo makes a sound. Even though the dog class doesn't have sound method, still we are able to access this sound method because it is extending the animal class. Because the parent class has that method, it will go, because it will first check in the dog class, and dog class doesn't have sound method, so it will go and check in the parent class, and parent class has sound method, therefore it will execute that code. Okay, so it's and says make sound. Okay, any doubt? So yeah, we are not using any static methods here. It's all instance methods. Okay, sound is an instance method, walk is an instance method, right? Yeah, so I can similarly call the other method, which is walk, right? Let's say walk. So now it goes to the dog class and checks for the walk method. Since it has walk method, it directly executes that. Yeah, so yeah, so let's see. So yeah, it makes bingo makes sound. Bingo can walk on 4 legs. Yeah. So now let's say I will uh, make a sound method here as well. Okay. Here I will make another sound method console.log. Okay. So here I say this dollar this dot name barks. Okay. One second. This dot name barks. Okay, so here I, there is one sound method here in the dog class and another sound method in the animal class. Since dog extends animal class, you have access to both the sound methods, right? So if now here we have dog1.sound method. So which one will it access? Will it access the sound method inside the dog class or sound method inside the animal class? Inside the dog class. Okay, so it gives the priority to the dog class first. If it is not there here, then only it goes to the parent class. Okay, so that means you can use the same name of instance methods in the child class and modify the code. Okay, so that particular dog, so this sound method is only particular to this animal, to this dog. Okay, so I can make another class. Okay, uh, another class. Okay, first let's see the what it prints. Okay, so here, see, bingo barks. Instead of bingo makes a sound, it says bingo barks. Okay, so the the advantage of this is, like, let's say class. Okay, now I'm saying cat. Okay, cat extends animal. Cat is also type of animal, so it extends animal properties and methods. Okay, it inherits animal properties and methods. So here also I'm creating a sound. Okay, so so I can, use my own same method but uh, different code. Okay, so dollar this dot name uh, cat meows, let's say. Okay, so yeah, so here if I, so that's what, so sound, there can be other methods. I can use some other methods here. Let's say sleep. Okay, sleep method, console.log. Here I say uh, okay, this dot name uh, sleeps silently, let's say. Okay, so here there can be any number of methods in the animal. You can change any method in your child class. Okay, you can change the code of any method in the child class and access other methods. Okay, so here dog1 dot sound, I can create another object for I can create an object for instance for cat. Okay, cat1, let's say, equal to new cat, and I can give any cat name, let's say kitty. Okay, any name, kitty. So here dog1 dots, let's say sleep here. Okay, and similarly I can say cat1 dot sound, and cat1 dot sleep. So the sound method is, if so, what do you think? Okay, let's see the code, execute the code, but before executing, what do you think the response would be? Yeah, 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 correct. So let's see. Okay, yeah. So that means we can modify the code according to our implementation in the child classes, but we can use other methods present in the parent class. So whichever we feel, let's say dog doesn't sleep silently, so we can modify it. We can say dog snores, let's say. Okay, we can create a same method name. We can and modify the code, right? So that's the advantage of inheritance. So we don't need to create all the methods from scratch. We can use the methods that are in the parent class, and we can modify if we think that method doesn't suit for this particular object, for this particular class. Okay, child class. Okay, so this is about inheritance. Any doubt? There is one more thing here. uh, there is another concept called super. Okay, okay, so basically here till now uh, we are not using any constructor method, right? In the child classes, right? Only we are using constructor method in the yeah, in the parent class. Okay, so let's say if we are using in the child class constructor method, we can use, right, if because it will check every time in the child class, and if it doesn't find, it will go to the parent class. That's the sequence, that's the order it follows, right? So let's say for the parent class, for the cat, let's say I'm using a constructor. Okay, it's a different constructor. I don't want only one parameter. Maybe this constructor takes two parameters. I maybe animal name. Okay, and maybe it will also take animal breed. Okay, so let's say so because animal name, I I can I can say, and I don't want to access. I create multiple animal names, right? Multiple properties, right? Because in the parent class, I already have the parameter name, animal name, right? I don't want to duplicate it. Okay. So in order to access the parent class animal name property and assign that to this animal name, okay. So parent class has what? Parent class has this dot name, right? So I don't want to disturb that. I want to access this dot name everywhere in my in class or in cat class also, because here I'm using this dot name, right? So I don't want to disturb that. So therefore what I do is there is a keyword called super. Okay, super. and I say animal, animal name. So that means super is a keyword, okay, which will call the constructor of the parent class. Okay, super is a keyword which calls the constructor of the parent class. Okay, so here uh, because animal name is already been assigned to this dot name here in the parent class, right? But animal breed is not present. Only animal breed I can mention here. So this dot breed, okay, is equal to animal breed. Any doubt? Yeah, yeah. So super is used. It's a special keyword. It is used to call the constructor of the parent class. Okay. So here I can say this dot name. This dot, because I don't want to duplicate the properties here. Okay. This dot name already mentioned in the parent class, and it can be accessible to class cat class as well. So I don't want to duplicate that. Therefore, I'm using the parent class property, this dot name, okay, parent constructor, okay, parent constructor, to assign the animal name. To assign the animal name, I'm using the parent class constructor, and I don't want to duplicate that. That's why super animal name. So this property will go here, and it will call the super is a special keyword, will call the constructor of the parent class. So it goes and calls this constructor and provides that name to this, and this dot name will be assigned that value. Okay, so this dot name, we don't need to create new another duplicate here. We can directly use the existing one. So here we are using the existing this dot name property by assigning the animal name to that by using this super. Okay, so this will call the constructor of the parent class. Any doubt? But there is no this dot breed in the parent class inside the constructor, because it was only taking one argument. But since the cat needs two arguments in order to create an object of the type cat, if it needs, let's say it needs two arguments, so one argument is already there in the parent constructor, so we are not duplicating it. So we are just passing that value to the parent constructor by using the super method. Okay, super keyword, and we are passing that same animal name to the parent constructor. Okay, but animal breed second argument is not present in the parent constructor. I'm creating a this dot breed parameter for cat for this constructor. Okay, and assigning that animal breed to this dot breed. Okay, now here while creating the cat, I need to provide two. Okay, I need to provide name. I don't know the breeds of a cat, but let's say breed 1. Okay, breed 1 is the is some breed name. Okay, so this breed name will go and will come here as soon as, so whenever it starts creating the object, okay, it goes and checks the constructor of the cat class. So here constructor of the cat, there is a constructor inside the cat class, right? So but this parameter, it tries to assign the parameter, but there is no parameter here. So but there is a super class, so it goes to super class by taking that kitty, passing that kitty here. Now super will method will go and invokes the constructor of the parent class. Okay, and provides that animal name to this, and from there it gets assigned, this parameter will be uh, taking this value. Okay, so now uh, and the but breed, it, directly we are using parameter here inside the cat class itself, inside the constructor of the cat class. Yeah, so that will be assigned to the breed. So now cat1 object has been created. Using this cat1, I can uh, use the, I can use the methods now. Okay, so here I can say uh, okay, uh, print breed, okay, or else tell breed name, tell breed, okay, tell breed name or something like that. So tell breed is a method. Okay, so I can say console.log. Okay, this dot, instead of name, it's I say breed. Okay, the breed, this dot uh, this dot breed, uh, here I can say the breed of this cat is, and this one. Okay, so now I can use the method tell breed here. Okay, cat1 dot tell breed. So if I execute that here, so the breed of this cat is breed1. Okay, yeah, so basically I want, yeah, I'm trying to explain the concept of super here. Okay, so the child classes can have constructors and it have different parameters, but whatever it can access the super class parameters, sorry, parent class parameters by using super keyword. Okay, any doubt till here? Okay, so shall we take one example, real-time example, let's say, and we can close this. Yeah. Okay. Mm, let's create a class to manage a bank account. Okay, let's say bank account .js. So what in generally what does the does bank account do? Like yeah, so let's say it's a savings account. So we can, what are the methods? What are the functionalities we can do using bank account? We can uh, yeah, we can deposit the amount, right? We can withdraw the amount, yeah, and we can get the balance of that amount, right? Of that in that account, right? So let's say, so these are the three functionalities. So you have to create a class, okay, uh, called bank account, where it has methods. What methods? Getting the balance, right? Depositing the amount and withdrawing the amount. Okay, let's see that and create an object and do some transactions. Okay, okay. Let's see how to do that. You understood the problem statement, right? So yeah, basically we are creating a class bank account class that has three functionalities. One is it should deposit. Basically, first we need to deposit, right? Let's say we can deposit. Second is we can withdraw, and third is we can check the balance or check balance. Okay, check the balance. So these are the three functionalities. It's a real-time example, right? Yeah, let's say class. So now I'm creating a class and try to operate on this class. Okay, create an objects of this class and utilize the methods and try to deposit amount and withdraw amount and check the balance. Yeah. So okay, class. So class name bank account. Okay, we need three methods. Let's say first method is deposit. Okay, deposit method. Deposit method. Next, we need to deposit. We need to withdraw. We need to check get balance. Okay, get balance. Get balance is the method. Let's say get balance is the method. So these three methods. So what does deposit method take? What deposit? In order to deposit, what is it? What the in order to deposit, you need to deposit the cash, right? So that means it need to take an argument saying amount. Let's say some amount you need to deposit. So it takes argument. Deposit takes argument amount. Argument amount, right? And withdraw also, like we need to withdraw some amount, right? So it also we should say this much amount I want to withdraw, so that it will withdraw. Okay, so that you can withdraw that. Okay, so it also takes argument amount. Okay, some amount number, right? Yeah. So next, get balance. Do you have to have any argument for that? You can say I want the balance to show. It should show the balance, right? But before all this, you need to have the account first, right? You need to have an account. That means, I mean to say, in order to create an account, what first of all, whenever I say create an object of bank account, what do you mean by that? You're creating a account object, right? Bank account. So you need to create an account first. So while creating an account, what you should be there? What should be there? Uh, in So you need to have some kind of account number, and you need to have some balance, right? You can be just for sake of for this example I'm talking, but in generally there can be many parameters, right, for creating a account. So for sake of this example, let's say we only need bank account number, and we need some balance initially while creating the bank account. Okay, so so here, are you here? Can you hear me? Yeah. So in order to create an account, so initially an object has to be created. That bank account should have some balance. We can so initially whenever you start creating a account, you need to create with some balance, right? Let's say we need to have some. We should not have any zero balance. We need to create with some balance. Maybe you can pass zero as well. That's fine. So basically, I'm trying to think what are the parameters that are needed while creating a bank account. So one is account number and other is balance. Okay, so account number, and there should be some in some deposit, or you can say deposit. So yeah, deposit or balance, whatever. Okay, you need to have some balance to create a bank account. So this thing will tell you that while creating a bank account object, you should you should initialize with some account number and balance. So this one is a good one for the constructor method. Okay, while creating an object itself, you have to pass two parameters. One is account number and balance, right? So I can say this dot account number is equal to account number. Okay, and this dot uh, balance is equal to balance. Okay, so here that is the constructor, right? So whenever I'm creating an object, we are having two parameters that are initialized with the account number you have passed and balance you have passed. Okay, so while creating an account itself, you are giving the account number and some amount in that account. Okay. Any doubt? Are you able to hear me? Okay. Okay. So now uh, this is about the constructor. Now let's see the deposit. Okay. Deposit method. So deposit method, it's deposit. So here, uh, okay, just a second. I'll cut this recording and I again start. Maybe it will not exceed more than 55. Yeah, I'll